I want you to know one thing today, and that is that you are not alone in the struggle. You are gifted, you are anointed, and you are called, but you're stuck. And sometimes we may feel as if we're the only one going through that financial crisis or that marital crisis, right? Everything around us just seems like it's just going south and everyone just else just has it all together. But you on the other hand, you're feeling the pull of something greater. That where I am now, this isn't where I'm meant to be. You've got the vision, you have ideas, you have a dream, but it remains buried under what? Under the weight of unworthiness. You feel as if you can't start because you're just not qualified enough. Because you failed so much that you just automatically disqualify yourself from even starting the very thing that is placed by God in your heart. Well, I'm here to tell you today, you're not lacking desire. You need direction. God's not waiting for you to be perfect. All he needs is for you to be willing. I know what it feels like to be unqualified. I was a prodigal son. I lived away from God, even knowing his word, even being filled with his spirit, even just having a divine encounter with him in my life. I still went away because I thought there was a better way. But most of all, I felt like I had let God down and like I wasn't worthy even of coming back. Now, listen, you might feel that same way too. Like you've broken many promises, whether that's to yourself, to others, and to God. You've broken many promises. Promises have been broken to you. And so, therefore, you begin to believe that, you know what, in all that brokenness, I am disqualified. But God says, my thoughts are not his. Your thoughts about yourself are not the thoughts that God has for you. Because when you are weak, he is strong. When you're faithless, he remains faithful. For me, it was when I was at my lowest, not at my best, but at my lowest, that he found me. And the same thing goes for you. When I felt the calling to teach, I said, God, there's just so many other people out there more qualified than me with tons of years of experience. I have just done nothing but fail and fail and fail at life, in everything I've attempted, in my relationship with you and with others. I'm just not cut out. Why would you ever use someone like me? And he said this, do not let them despise you for your youth, for your lack of experience or what they call inexperience. Don't let them despise you for that. You see, because God, he doesn't call you based on your resume. He anoints you. He chooses you. He separates you based on surrender. There are so many examples of God using men and women in the Bible who you can consider unqualified. Those were the very people that God chose to bring about his purpose. You may not have the degrees and the credentials and the perfect past, but what you do have is much greater, and that is his spirit. Because it's by his spirit that God will demonstrate his power and glory in your life. I believe that God wants to encounter you today. There is a divine invitation that keeps calling your name because God has something greater for you today. You have a divine assignment. You have a calling, whether that's to launch a business, a ministry, to write a book, to create content, to start a family, a nonprofit, whatever it may be, however it may look. You are called to influence and make an impact in your world. And it starts with obedience. Listen, God, he doesn't need you to obey him. You need your obedience. In other words, God doesn't need your obedience. You need your obedience. Why? Because if you don't obey God for the calling he has placed over your life, what's going to happen is you will never step into the predestined, the pre-appointed purpose that he created for you before he created the world. You need your obedience. I may not know you, I may not know your name, but I do know this, that your comfort zone is killing your calling. That road that you're in, the one with late night questions, silent frustration, the road with unfulfilled potential, that road, that is not the road that God is leading you to. That is not the road that God wants to take you to. He has so much more plans full of promise and hope. But if you don't obey the vision that He's given you, then you risk losing the very life, the God given assignment that He created you for. Obedience opens the door, vision fuels your direction, and your purpose releases the provision. This is your moment, not to strive, but to surrender. It's time to pick up your mantle and answer the call God has for your life.